What's good, y'all? I've got some absolutely massive and much needed buffs from my boy Guzzlord. He was by far the worst of the Ultra Beasts, and he was the one who needed the rework the most. Very similar to Celesteela, they are a extremely bulky mixed attacker with huge power, and then a secondary ability that makes the special sets worth using. In Celesteela's case, it was Speed Boost. In this case, it's Sinister. Sinister is an ability that tons of Pokemon have. It's a new ability. By the way, yeah, if you're new here, welcome. Hello. This is not your average run-of-the-mill ROM hack. As you can tell, all of these buffs and changes are balanced in-game. There are 20 plus custom new abilities, and 600 plus moves are buffed or changed, and there's a very detailed move guide for those, and ability guides, beat tier guide, all this crazy stuff. All the Pokemon are heavily reworked, Guzzlord, of course, being one of them. So yeah, Sinister makes Guzzlord immune to fairy moves, and you might be thinking, this is broken. It's balanced during game. It can be a little bit excessive because, number one, like, it's all the same at the end of the day. I'll explain that better in another video one day when I actually talk about, like, the difficulty of the hack as a whole. But yeah, Guzzlord's a late game encounter. Also, this is terrible background music, by the way. It's so bad, but this is the fucking Guzzlord's Ultra Space music, so I'm using it. It's so bad, though. Oh god, I feel so weird just talking over it, but yeah. Sinister, great for special sets. Special attack being 151 fits him very well, and then his HP stat is the second highest in the game, only beaten by Wailord, who has 200 base HP. HP is based more on size now in this hack, so with the exception of Pokemon like Blissey, Alabamola, and Wobbuffet, who have 150 base HP, despite not being that big. Every other Pokemon, its HP is scaled to its size. So yeah, roughly. Obviously, it's not a perfect system, but roughly. And that means that Wailord and then Guzzlord. I believe Regigigas is the third most HP at 185. So yeah, those are like the three big guys. And I love it. It's so cool. He's absurdly bulky. Regigigas is bulkier, but yeah, 79 base attack with huge power. He is the strongest huge power mon in the game. He does have priority on the physical side in form of Sucker Punch, and then on the special side in the form of Twister and Night Burst, which are dual stab special priority moves. There are tons of new priority moves in this hack, tons of crazy new move buffs and changes. Again, like I said, please do check those out in the description below. I'm not exaggerating when I say 600 plus moves were buffed and changed. But Guzzlord, he can run really good bulky sets. I mean, he's even uninvested. His bulk is incredible. I don't know why you wouldn't run an HP investment though. For certain fights, you can run specific spreads to take certain hits. Again, it's all balanced for in-game, so you're basically using your massive pool of TM and tutor moves and your abilities with an infinite use ability capsule to optimize your set for that boss fight. So, say for example, your Guzzlord needs to come in on a specific Pokemon, you'll run a special set for one fight, because that Pokemon is weaker, especially defensively. Or maybe your IVs in nature determine which set you run, which ability you run more often. Because Sinister is incredible with the 151 special attack and, the dual stat priority and the incredible coverage. Its coverage is literally equal on both sides. It is absurd coverage on both sides, as you can see. Tons of incredible moves of all different kinds. Stabs is incredible. It has, Dragon Pulse, 100 base power, Draco Meteor, 150. And there's all types of new additional effects for all these moves, but I just don't have time to get into them all. Outrage, 130, Dragon Fury, 130, 70% accurate, always burns, Dragon Hammer, 110 base power, recoil moves, same with moves like Wild Charge and Takedown, Crab Hammer, pretty weird move, but number one, he's an Ultra Beast. Number two, he has literal crab shaped claws, and I've been giving Crab Hammer to all the Pokemon that have that shape of claw, like Gliscor and Scizor and stuff, because the animation literally shows like a giant claw moving down. This music is so bad, I can't believe. I know it's like the reversed theme of what is it, like Howley City or something, but it's just so cursed. Yeah, Raging Fury is incredible. Payback is incredible because you're very, very slow. One of the slowest Pokemon in the game. Just so I can give him more stats, honestly. But the stats are also very satisfying to look at. They're all prime numbers, as always, with Ultra Beasts. 79 base attack with huge power is equivalent to, let's check, 282 times 2, 6564. That is 207 base attack. So as you saw in Celesteela's video, he only had 195. So even a simple 6 base attack difference makes a huge difference, a huge power. So for example, Wailord, who has 75, is significantly bigger than Guzzlord. Not that they're actually weak, obviously. And there's also tons of other stronger Pokemon. Household Pokemon are much stronger than Guzzlord is. A lot of them, especially like the higher base attack household Pokemon. A lot of them are also way faster than him. Raw damage output isn't everything anyways, but there are stronger Pokemon by far than Guzzlord in this hack. And yeah, he does provide a lot of defensive utility though. With Sinister, his type combination is very good. Ice, Fighting, Dragon, and Bug weakness are only 4. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resists, which is really nice. And then you also are immune to Psychic. And then obviously Fairy with Sinister. Keep in mind that Pixelate will bypass through Sinister, so Pixelate Pokemon do be wary of those. It's a pretty common ability on the Sac for Fairy types, so you gotta be careful with those. Yeah, Slack Off is great. Stockpile and Swallow. Buffed Swallow is really cool. Swallow is a priority move that will always heal you by 100% HP as long as you have at least one Stockpile boost up. So that's a great option for healing, especially because you obviously can't use healing items in this hack. It's got to be relatively difficult and rewarding and challenging and all that stuff. We'll get into that in another video one day, though. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. He's just the GOAT. The abilities are very fitting. He's obviously very Sinister. Obviously, huge power fits him incredibly well. I wanted to give him Metabolism because his whole thing of like eating, but Sinister was just better. Metabolism was cool and all, but I don't know. Sinister is like, it's just like I feel like making the Ultra Beast look super broken. Like just looking at this, it's like, oh my god, Guzzlord, immune to Fairy, 150 special attack, 200 HP. Like holy shit, what's going on? Like it looks broken, you know. It's not actually. Again, it's all balanced in game. I'm not sure if the AI will use a Fairy move on a Sinister Pokemon. If they do, then that can trivialize things a little bit, but it's still like it still has common weaknesses. It's still slow. Obviously, it does have priority, but number one, you have to keep Twister and Night Burst. You can't move or enter them. And then for Sucker Punch, it's situational. It only works, if they use an attacking move, which they won't always be using. So, not that it's bad. I mean, it's incredible. I don't need to explain why. 79 base attack, huge power, Sucker Punch, Stab is good, but it's just not anything too crazy. Burst Impression is also a nice little priority option. Good utility as well. Like this is totally a good bulky, pivot with like Parting Shot and T-Spikes and Acid Reflux and all these other cool utility moves that it has. I have to sneeze. Oh god. I gotta stop myself. Okay. Now I have like that annoying feeling of having to sneeze. But yeah, look, point is, tons of really powerful moves. Doom Desire is really strong. That's 160 base power, so you can use that with Parting Shot on special sets with Sinister. And you can, come in, take a hit, Doom Desire, Parting Shot out, go into your, faster offensive whatever Pokemon or whatever you want to go into anything, and then Doom Desire will hit and kill whatever's in front of you, most likely, assuming that it's, not like super bulky or resisting dark. Yeah, Payback is its best Dark Stab for sure, on top of like Sucker Punch and stuff on the physical side, because Payback is 60 base power, but it's negative priority, which wouldn't matter in this case anyways because you're so slow. So that's basically a guaranteed 120 base power Dark type move with no drawback. Wicked Blow is the same power and it bypasses Intimidate, but it has a 90% accuracy, so I would prefer Payback any day. Brutal Swing, 125 base power, recoil move. Dragon Hammer, also recoil move. And then you have stuff like Takedown and Wild Charge. So you could run a nice little Shell Bell set with recoil moves, or you can just ignore the recoil because you have such a high base HP that you won't be doing that much recoil damage to yourself, honestly. So that's a really nice option as well. Twilight Cannon, great nuke alongside Draco Meteor. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say. The reliable recovery is great. He is still super slow, so like in order to you might get into a cycle where you have to just spam healing, because like despite what the bulk wants to do, he's not actually that bulky. He is very bulky. I don't want to undersell it, but I also don't want to oversell it. So I think I'll just leave it off there. I think you can use your own brain and look at all the other Pokemon buffs and changes and just see how this would function. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure no trainers will be using this unless I give it to myself. It doesn't really fit any trainers to have a Ultra Beast or anything besides Dulce, who will be using other Pokemon. So yeah. I mean, a couple other trainers will have Ultra Beasts, like Luzamine will have like 1 or 2, maybe even Faba will have 1 or 2, but like Guzzlord specifically doesn't really fit too many trainers. Maybe I'll figure it out and give it to somebody, but regardless, awesome buffs, very much deserved. Guzzlord needed them. Yeah, he's an absolute GOAT now. You'll love to see it. Sick-ass design, by the way, if that's not obvious. I love Guzzlord. He's awesome. Yeah, all right. I'll be back for more Ultra Beasts coming up. Peace. Thank you so much. Appreciate you listening. Make sure you leave a comment down below if you listen this far, and I really do appreciate it. All right. Peace.